my name is Dermietzel and this is my first video blog documenting my progress from now till September 25th at the UKBFF Westmidlands Bodybuilding Championship. The last 6 weeks I've been moderately dieting, a bit of light cardio and easing myself into the diet, and now I'm currently 10 weeks out and everything is up to gear. My diet is now flawless and my cardio has been upped to at least 3 or 4 sessions a week, about 40 minutes a time. I'm doing walking or on the exercise bike, relatively low pace, nothing too hardcore at the moment. I don't want to burn too much energy up. But my training, in terms of my weight training, stayed pretty much the same as it always has been. Training heavy, my rep ranges aren't changing. I'm training as if I was trying to build mass and strength, which for me is about 8 to 10 rep range, with as much weight as I can handle for that amount of reps. I'm trying not to change that too much while I diet. Obviously the weights I'm using are going down due to the fact that I am eating less carbs, but it's not going down so significantly that it's really been a problem for me. I'm carb cycling. What I mean by that is I'm taking in different amounts of carbohydrates on different days, trying to shock my body. So a quick example, I've been Monday I have a medium day, Tuesday's a medium day, Wednesday's low, Thursday's low, Friday, Saturday are both high. That changes a lot on a bi-weekly basis. Sometimes I'll mix that up, as long as I'm shocking my body between low days and high days. And sometimes I'll have a high day on a weight training day that demands more physical exertion, like a leg day. Today's a high day, and today's also leg day, so that's why I'm doing that. In terms of what I'm eating, an average day for me would be, simple foods: egg whites, porridge oats, grapefruit. That would be a breakfast, for example. The quantities, you can find out more on my page. A link I shall put in the description box if you want to go on there and see the more minute details, how many grams per this, how many grams per that, it'll all be there. But so an average day would be egg whites, oats, grapefruit, lots of turkey, broccoli, asparagus, sweet potato, brown rice, regularly 6-7 times a day. Protein is really high every meal. As I said, my carbs do fluctuate, so that's something else that you'll have to go onto the page to find more about. But the carb sources are sweet potatoes and rice cakes on my very low days. The training that I'm focusing on at the moment, as I said before, I'm not really changing what I'm doing too much, although I am now incorporating more smaller body parts that you may overlook at other parts of the year, like calves, forearms, and smaller muscle groups. Rather than just training shoulders, I'm now isolating the shoulders into groups, like the different delt heads, and I'm trying to put focus on those now. As my body fat's decreasing, the visible muscle is showing through more, and so I need to put more attention on the smaller groups that you can see. Abs as well, something I don't usually train too hard in my off season, but now they're coming through because of the diet. I need to start training them more often, so I'm training them probably every other day. I'm doing my carbs every other day, and my forearms every other day as well. Apart from that, my training is the same. I do a leg day, heavy squats, heavy leg presses. I'm still doing heavy benching, deadlifts, all the big compound movements. Again, details of my training will be on my page. So yeah, that's that. I just thought I'd answer a few questions that I get on my Facebook page. I've had a lot recently from you asking lots of different tips on training. Many of you have never trained at all in your life and you're looking for tips how to begin, what's the right path to go on to changing your body. A lot of you are already quite well into your bodybuilding or fitness goals and you just want a couple of tips just to fine tune that. So I'm going to answer a question for you now regarding supplements. A lot of questions that I've had are all asking my opinion on bodybuilding supplements and asking whether I use them, and if so, which ones do I use, and which ones do I recommend for you to use if you're just starting out. So I've narrowed them down to 4 good supplements that I would say should be staples. There are obviously hundreds of others which are good once you're advanced, but if you're just starting out, I'd say there are 4 big ones. Starting with the first one, I'd say is creatine, and you've probably heard of it before. It comes in several forms: monohydrate, powder, or like an ethyl ester, which is normally a tablet. Both pretty much do the same thing, but the powder one does tend to pack on initial size relatively quickly, and that's just because of the water retention that brings. One thing to know about creatine is it doesn't, despite popular belief, make you big quickly overnight. It will help you with energy and motivation in the gym. It's great for explosive movements, it's good for weightlifters, good for powerlifters. But again, remember, it is only a supplement, as is all the things on here that I'm going to talk to you about, and they shouldn't supplement a good diet and training and general lifestyle. But creatine, it's relatively cheap, one of the cheapest supplements you can get. You can normally get quite a lot of powder for relatively low cost, and it's a good staple. Your glycogen levels will increase with creatine, which will help you gain a better pump in the gym. So whilst that doesn't actually make you bigger in the long term, it does give you a psychological advantage. It makes you feel bigger when you're there. It does pump the muscles out, and it will, in the long run, I suppose, allow more blood flow to the muscle. It fills the muscle cells with water. Overall, you're going to feel stronger, bigger, and probably more confident with creatine, which is a great advantage in bodybuilding. Secondly, everyone's heard of this. Protein obviously comes from food, meats, chickens, dairy products, eggs, things like that. It's relatively easy to get hold of as a food, but it does come in a powder as well. The different types: whey, soy, casein protein, isolates, concentrates, things like that. They're all kind of menial details really. All you need is a good whey powder. And again, you know, drinking whey protein shakes is not going to make you big, which a lot of people seem to think. You often see small guys walking around with their protein drinks, which is fine, but I do get the impression that maybe they haven't got their food sorted properly first, or maybe educate themselves on training. A lot of these people don't get their lifestyle properly sorted out. You know, they're drinking late, consuming copious amounts of alcohol, eating kebabs, eating a lot of bad food, not training properly, which is fine, but it doesn't warrant the use of protein powder if you're going to live like that. So you need to get everything else sorted first before you invest in these supplements. Protein's pretty straightforward, repairs and recovers muscle. More protein in the muscle, protein cells in the muscle, is going to mean bigger muscles in the long run. To put it simply, I would say 1.5 grams of protein taken in for every pound of your lean body weight. So if you can figure out what your lean body weight is first, and then go from there. But that's only a roundabout figure. It's not to be taken literally. I would say, me personally, I'm taking 38-40 grams of protein every time I eat, but I'm a bigger guy than a lot of other people, so it's all relative. But yeah, more details can be found on my page if you want to ask me any questions about how much protein you think you should eat for your body weight, etc, etc. I'm happy to help with that. Third one on my list is glutamine. Pretty straightforward. It's just an amino acid found in muscles. Great for recovery, sore joints, stiff tendons, general recovery, I'd say, that's the key thing there. A deficiency in it, deficiency in glutamine in your body can lead to like a weaker immune system, or like a decrease in muscle. So keeping your glutamine high is a really good idea if you're going to be training. Number 4, the final one, is anything that's a thermogenic fat burner of any kind. So thermogenic foods, for example, chili peppers, ginger, most spices like that are great for burning fat. Grapefruit as well is a natural thermogenic. I could go on and on, but again, you know, if you have a look online, you research, you'll find all these things out for yourself. But in terms of supplements, there's an ECA, which is ephedrine, caffeine and aspirin. It's known as an ECA, which is again like an all-encompassing tablet which includes those things. Caffeine is great for fat loss. Black coffee typically is good for fat loss because of the caffeine. Aspirins, ephedrine. There are loads of natural fat burning products on the market. Loads of different types of fat burners that you can take, which will help with your energy levels and general burning fat. But obviously, there are many other ones out there on the market. These are the best ones, and you can probably afford to even take a few of them off and just stick to your basics like protein, and even that you can get from food. So the key thing to remember is that everything you can get in supplement form can be also obtained from food, and so get your food right first, get your training right. I would say if you're just starting out, don't waste your money on supplements. Instead, choose to spend your money on a week's worth of shopping and get good quality food, and just continue to do this for weeks, months, maybe longer. You will see results. Supplements are not drugs, they're not magic formulas. They just aid into improving your performance. So I would say, you know, if you are going to take supplements, those are the ones I recommend, but don't rely on them. Is my key point there, really, basically. So that's that.